All right, thank you. We have Girl Talk with Alicia Tamiko. We are starting out with season 2, and today we have a special guest. And please don't kill me for messing up your name. We have Rhonda McTyre, and we're just it's. I'm gonna let her tell her about herself first, and let her introduce herself, and then we'll get right into it. Rhonda.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Alicia. Now, let me not cut your name. Last name. Is it Alicia Tomeko? Tomeko?
Alicia Tamiko.
Alicia Tamiko. Girl, you got to help me out, honey, on everything. Please forgive me. Thank you so much for having me on. It's such an honor. This is actually my very first podcast to be on here. So when you asked me, I'm like, girl, I'm nervous. Should I say no? Should I say yes? I said, Lord, didn't give me the spirit of fear. So I said, I'm going to tell this baby yes. Thank you so much for having me on. Such a blessing.
No problem.
Thank you. Well, hello everyone. My name is Rhonda McTyre. I'm with Curve to Curve IG. A little bit about myself. I am 31 years old. I love my life. I'm the third oldest out of 8. I know my mom. She had a football team. That's all I have to say. She had a little football team, and I love my family to death. Very big Christ advocate. I turned my life over to Christ a couple of years ago, and it's been nothing but grace and an abundance of blessings ever since. And also, oh my gosh, what can I say? I am the host of Model Check In on every third or fourth Thursday around 7 Central and 8 EST. So you can check that out. I bring on different guests, just to give them a check in on our life. I came up with that when I was in my quarantine stages, but everyone came up with a little something. So that's a huge blessing. So I got a lot of stuff coming up that I'm really excited about, and I can't wait to share with y'all. So that's a little bit about my background.
Love it, love it. So, what's so special about this is that I have been following Curve to Curve and Rhonda for quite some time, you guys. And I love her page. You have to go follow her page. The energy on there, I just feel like we connected right away. Not only because, being a plus size woman, and a little bit about myself is that I cater to voluptuous or plus size women that travel, but also I allow myself to kind of, embrace, the culture of being a plus size woman and wanting to connect because I feel like no one can relate other than, being who you are. And Rhonda, she definitely, it radiates from her page, her spirit and everything. So as she stated, it's a first for her doing this, but it's a first for me doing this live interview. So, and also she's in Texas, you guys, and I'm thinking about relocating. So she's also been helping or assisting with that, kind of places and things like that. But to move forward, tell us how you got into, the model industry. Like, how did this become so important to you?
Oh, honey, I have a strong testimony behind it. Do I have time to say my testimony? Wow. I first got started in the modeling industry. My sister-in-law had a jean line that she was coming out with called How We Do Denim by Modern Royalty Collection. And she said, hey, sis, would you like to be one of my models? I said, yeah, sure. I don't mind being a model. Go ahead. So we got to the shoot, got finished, getting done my makeup and things. The photographer, I already knew the photographer, Shake Radliff, for with 4C Photography. And she was like, hey, come on, so I can start taking some pictures of you. It was like 4 or 5 of us there. So we was around 20 pictures in. And she said, come here, I need to show you something. I said, oh, Lord, I did something. I know, what do I do wrong? What I do wrong? So she was like, you don't take any bad pictures. I said, it got to be a bad picture in the while I'm blending, one of my eyes messed up or something. She was like, no, you don't take any bad pictures. Have you thought about being a model? And I'm thinking, I'm like, I mean, that would be great, but I'm short. Like I'm not shaped like a model. I feel like I'm shaped like a gallon-sized Pepsi or Coca-Cola. Like I'm not shaped like a model. But I decided to give myself a go at it when I think it was late 2018. I had a birthday shoot with her, and my birthday shoot came out like amazing. Everyone loved the pictures, And I told myself, and then at that time I was working almost two, three, four, five jobs, and I told God, I said, God, Lord, I was on my knees crying in my room one day, and I said, Lord, I have two or three jobs, and I still can't make the ends meet to pay bills, my electricity, or anything like that. So I said, Lord, I will focus on my dream job, my passion, which is my modeling career, and I will focus on one job. So at that time, I dropped everything, and then when I was asleep that night, he came to me and said, daughter, I got you. And that's when I knew, I said, Lord is trying to, speak to me and tell me, to go further. So I dropped all those other jobs to focus on my main job. And with my main job, I was actually promoted twice. And with my modeling job, doors just started to open like abundantly, like
Yeah.
runway shows and like, hey, can you come do a speaking engagement? And I'm like, y'all, I haven't been modeling for like 4, 5 years. Just a couple months, less than 90 days. I felt like I was still on probation. And they was asking me, and I'm like, and I just went for it. And being a plus size woman, like I'm not shaped like a Kim Kardashian. I'm not shaped like an Ashley Brown, but I'm shaped like to me like an average plus size
Mhm.
woman. I wear a waist trainer when I work out, but I don't wear like how like a lot of women wear waist trainers just to get that hourglass, that peach
Yes.
shape. I
Mhm.
don't wear it every day because I've heard the pros and the cons to it. You
Okay.
can shift some things in your stomach, but you just have to be careful. So I just decided, like, look, Rhonda, go full force at it. Like you love supporting other women's businesses. You love, you love talking to people, and you love, just inspiring. Oh my gosh, inspiring people just, to go after what they love. And
Mhm.
so when after that, like doors, like I said, just doors just started to come open, and I get nothing but the grades. And I told my church about it, and my church was actually the first one to find out about my modeling career. And
Mhm.
my pastor was like, "Woo!" She was more excited than me because she said when she was going through, because she said that before she got saved and decided to be like a minister, she's like she wanted to be like on the runways and all behind that, but she was like, "Well, I have a daughter that's doing it, so I get to see my daughter do it." So it's been an amazing journey so far. I mean, it has its ups and downs, but God is still providing, and I'm still here. So I just want to inspire everyone just go after what you love. If you feel like modeling is your passion, go for it. People can see your flow when you walk the runway, or
Yes.
when you are either in a photo shoot, or even when you're walking in a market. Like you can see it. I know one of my I teach youth. I'm a youth minister as well, youth teacher for my church, and one of my babies, Aries. Oh, I love her to death. She's watched me ever since I first started, and now she wants to take on modeling, which I think that is so
Mhm.
astounding that she's, that she's following like what she wants to do, and I think that she'd be a great, great, great model. So it's just the little things like that, just to encourage and inspire people to do what you want to do, and
And I
that's what
love
makes me fulfilled.
And I love that you said that. It's so important. You know what your vision is, right? And what you're setting out to do. And, you pray to God about it. You got the validation and confirmation that you needed in doing so. How important is it as a plus size model to have that support? How do you how do you go about not only encouraging yourself but encouraging others that are aspiring to be models?
Wow, just if this is what, like I tell people all the time, is this what you want to do? Then God will equip you to prepare you to go your way. And one thing that I've learned on this journey is to have a spiritual advisory board. And your spiritual advisory board can have anybody on there that's uplifting you. It just my mentors on there. I have one or two friends on there. My pastor's on there, and I have another friend on there that she stays all the way in Austin, that I go to them like, look, I don't feel comfortable doing this, but what do you think I should do? And they're always encouraging me to keep going. And another thing that I always do is I read a lot of scripture. So
Okay.
stay, and one thing I tell people is stay rooted in His Word, and He will help guide you. And I have daily affirmations, like the sticky notes, all over my window in my bathroom. So stay rooted and guided through His Word, and I guarantee you that you will do every time for you to keep going for what you're wanting to do. So definitely.
I also like that you said that. So, I hear a lot of people say I'm not religious. I'm more of a, I'm spiritual or whatnot. But how important are those affirmations, whether it's scripture or just encouraging yourself and building up your inner self so that it can radiate on the outside? Um, how important is that? You know, just being a woman, being a plus size woman, and being a model.
Oh my, it's very important because you can go through so many down days that you just don't know what to do, or you're on full overload.
Hmm.
And one thing I tell people, if you're not spiritually guided, a lot of people say, "Well, I don't have what you have," and you don't have to have what I have. You
Yeah.
don't have to. My journey is different from your journey, but what you can do is look in the mirror and say, "Look, I'm beautiful. I'm confident. I'm bold. I'm gonna take on today with my beautiful boldness, my confidence, my thickness, my curviness on today." So you can continue to keep going. And let me tell you something, a lot of negative people will uplift you too. If you have those negative people talking to you, baby, they will encourage you to keep going right there.
Indeed. Indeed. You just said a word. So I know you mentioned about, waist trainers and, just being who you are, showing whatever, embracing your, we'll say, flaws or, just being positive and knowing who you are in front of that camera. When you look in the mirror, when you wake up, or whatnot. Do you have limitations as to the type of clothing that you wear or uh, how you want to express yourself and be portrayed as that model?
I do. A lot of, with me, I'm a youth, like I said, with me being a youth teacher and, in the covering of the God, I do have limitations. I don't do nudity. Hey, these are jewels, pearls, treasures. I don't do nudity. I don't do lingerie. Well, I can say I have limits when it comes to lingerie. Like, I don't want to see, if you have to see, like it's like a body trainer or something. I don't know what it's called, like a bodysuit. If my bodysuit
Mm-hmm.
covers my whole body, I would wear it. But if
Mm-hmm.
you these or my little kuta, no, 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 I'm not wearing it. I'm not wearing it at all. And those are certain things that I don't do. And a lot of photographers, I've turned down a lot of jobs because of that. I told them no bad blood, but with me being a Christian model, I have limitations on my whole
Mm-hmm.
body. Definitely have limitations.
I love that. Um, so, moving forward, how do you feel about, let's say, how do you see yourself progressing as a Christian model? For given that you know what you portrayed as your journey or whatnot, and you went in for this photo shoot doing one thing for someone else, and now you're this full blown model. How do you see yourself progressing in, let's say, 6 months to a year? What does your journey for you look like?
My journey for me is, oh my, I got so many things that I have in store. I can write. I love listening to music. I write skits and plays for my church all the time. I
Hmm.
would love to dabble into, I would love to sit beside Tyler Perry one day and say, "Hey, how you doing? Let's write a couple of plays together." And hopefully, I'm very versatile. I want to learn how to do everything from behind the scenes, being in front of the camera, owning TV, owning my own boutique. I know one thing that I was putting together a couple of days ago was I wanted to start a T-shirt line called P413, and it's called Philippians 413. But it's just gonna have some different how the T-shirts that have the little logos on the front.
Hmm.
Don't get me wrong, I love the logos on the front, but I want to see the logos go on the side and all around the shirt,
Mhm.
and make it where it's high lows and all of that, because I love those type of shirts, that keeps me guided. And like I said, I just want to dabble into everything. Right now, I have my model check-in. I just had a virtual Zoom vision board party that, oh my gosh, that was amazing. I'm gonna be having another one probably in the next month or two. But it was so amazing just to sit there and just watch those ladies put their vision board together. We shedding tears. I'm like, y'all grab some tissue. Come on, this is our girl. Grab some tissue. And watching my mentor, Rhoda Khan's, just speaking to these women, and we was all different ages, and just speaking to them to say, look, put your vision together, make it plain, and he will help follow you for the rest of the way. Like I said, I want to dabble in a lot of things. As long as I put my mind to it, it's going to be some challenges, but I'm up for every challenge.
I
Up for every
love
challenge.
it. I absolutely love your energy. I have to say I do.
Thank you
Um,
so much.
you're welcome. So, I mean, I'm all about body positivity and things like that. And I know there are a lot of people, women out there, they're intimidated by the industry, as being a plus size woman. Um, and I know you kind of touched bases on it, but my question is, people, they put limitations on themselves because someone else has possibly put them or put something in their head that kind of backs them away from wanting to do it. Um, like you said, that you have someone, your ministry group or whatnot. Um, what's the number one thing so that they're not swayed into doing things that they don't want to do? Or,
Do Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Do your research on the company. Do your research on the brand. If someone reaches out to you through a DM or an email wanting to do you, they'll compensate you for a certain shoot. You ask a million and one questions before you confirm yes. And that's one thing I will do. I will ask a lot of questions until they probably start to say, look, I can't work with her no more. And then honestly, I'm a big researcher. I look at what their target is. I've had companies reach out to me saying that, hey, I want to put you on the cover of my magazine. And when I look at it, it's women bent over on their Instagram, got all of this out, and I don't like all of that. That's not me at all. And I
Mm,
tell them, I said, look, hey, your work is your work. I'm not putting it down, but that doesn't go under my beliefs. So I do apologize. So honestly, ladies, even gentlemen, do your research on all companies before you go head first into anything.
hmm So, have like two more questions for you.
Okay.
What is your? I'm all about affirmations and just coming from a world where I was picked on as a child and led to believe that the things that people told me was true. But as I grew older, I realized that it wasn't true at all. It was just about me being able to find who I was, um, asserting that confidence, setting boundaries or whatnot. What is your ultimate like affirmation that just gets you going and brings life into even more life into you and when you go on to that photo shoot or whatnot? You can only pick one.
I know, right? It's just so many. One thing that I can say when I walk into shoots is God did not give me the spirit of fear. He gave me the power of love and a sound mind. So when I walk into a shoot, I want people to see my spirit. Like they can't, no fear is coming in with me. Bold confidence is coming in with me. So when I go on and I've noticed this on every shoot that I go into, the photographer or even a person will pull me aside and say, "Do you have emotions?" positive energy that I've seen in all the people I've worked with, and
Mhm.
learn and always be open minded to suggestions. And I don't mind being open minded to suggestions. So
Mhm.
definitely take bold and confident things with the shoe. Even if you have some bumps on your finger, I walked in the whole photo shoot with that like the cross bumps, like one bump here, one bump there. And I said, Lord, I'm gonna walk in with this shoe and I'm gonna embrace these bumps. And so the photographer had emailed me. They was like, "Hey, would you like for me to take the bumps off?" No, sir, leave them on there. So embrace it.
So do you prefer not being edited? I know people they over edit. I've seen it done, or try to make it more sensual. And I know that you're a Christian based model, but do you prefer being edited or not edited, or it
It
depends on the shoot?
it depends on the shoot. If it's more of a natural shoot, don't edit my photos.
Mhm.
And if it's more of a shoot that that's kind of going in like in a catalog or something, like just edit it only a little bit. Don't edit it to where, how can I put it? Like I've seen people edit shoots to where the young lady is really she's caramel complexion and they'll light it to where she's almost white. I'm like, wait a minute, she's not that color. So that's why I tell a lot of people, don't really touch my complexion. Don't darken it up. Just let it stay the same. Just
Mhm.
I can tell when someone is over edited my photos because it's
Mhm.
like I look more of like a how can I put it, like a mannequin. I'm like, I don't want to look like a mannequin. Like,
Mhm.
no, just leave a little blemish there, leave a little, because I want people to see me kind of like who I am. Like I know makeup covers up this, covers up that. Believe me, I can totally understand. But if it's like I said, if it's a natural photo shoot, then just leave all my bumps on there. If it's one of those that's going on the catalog, or either just try not to over edit my photos to where it looks almost mannequinized. Like, don't do that.
Yeah. So looking back, what would Rhonda now tell younger Rhonda?
Ooh. Oh wow, younger Rhonda. I have to say, younger Rhonda. Ooh, my younger Rhonda. I'm just trying to think. Like someone else asked me this. I'm like, well, I don't know. Let me think. Like younger Rhonda. Like who would think that you would be great barriers?
Mm.
Who would think that your personality, of people saying like, oh, she's out her person, she talks too much, she talks too loud. Who would think that you will inspire others? Younger Rhonda. Who
Mm.
would think that you shape weird? People used to call you bad built, no neck in high school. To think that you be the talk of the town. Younger Rhonda. Look at you. I would probably tell myself, sis, you beautiful young sis. You believe everything people used to tell you back in the day, but now look at you, how much you've grown and blossomed. That's what I
Mm.
would tell
I
myself.
love it. Yes. What What does Rhonda McTyre Curve to Curve have in store? Tell us again what's in store for 2021. Where can we find you? Events coming up. What's going on?
Ooh, honey. You can find me. I just launched my website. So it's www.curvetocurve.com. That's CRUVETOCURVE.com. I think I spelled it www.curvetocurve.com. And you can find me on Instagram, Curve to Curve. I have a Facebook as well. My Facebook is my government name is Rhonda McTyre. Just you can find me on those platforms. I have a lot of stuff coming up in store. I don't want to talk too much about it, but just wait and see. I'm just excited about everything that's starting to take place, and so just I know fashion shows, runway events, and I'm praying for some speaking engagements. I've learned that someone once told me a long time ago is like it's a little humor. Tell how to make God laugh and tell God you're playing.
Mm.
And I see why they kept saying that. Don't
Mm-hmm.
never tell God you're playing. God will tell you
You.
you're playing. And
Yeah.
so I notice sometimes I get ahead of myself when it comes to projects. I'm wanting to do this, I want to do that. I know God has literally had set me back and said, I told you to be patient. I told you to sit there. I told you to wait on me. So now I'm in the season of waiting. Like I am in the season, it's like,
The sun is shining.
girl, too much. I am in the season of I'm under his arm. I'm not moving for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it takes even if I'm at home 2 or 3 months just not doing nothing, I know that he's still got something that's gonna something bigger in store for me.
Mm-hmm.
So just y'all just wait.
I
Y'all
love it. I love it. Um, well, it has definitely been a pleasure getting to know you more. Um, and thank you for joining us on Girl Talk with Alicia Tamiko. I definitely hope this is not the last time that we will have you on. Um, Again, I am your host, Alicia Tamiko. You can find us on social media. I'm on IG. I actually just created my IG page for the podcast, Girl Talk with Alicia, ALECIA TAMEKO. You can also find me on IG under Unapologetically Voluptuous, also known as the UV Gang. Um, but it's been a pleasure. I want you guys to have the most amazing day and live your life unapologetically. Make the mistakes, embrace them. You won't know until you know, and continue to have that faith and be led um, by whatever, your spirit lets you, you know, to be. I'm going to just say that. So I thank you. I thank you. I thank you.
I thank you for having me on the podcast, honey. I am praying for nothing but an abundance and an overflow over this because I have a strong feeling this is going to be bigger than what it is. It's going to be bigger to what your sight is, honey. So I'm excited. It's going to flourish and manifest. Lord, I pray for her right now. I can see it, sweetheart. Oh, thank you so much for having me on. I love you. You're a true, true spirit. I love, 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 love you.
Oh, that means so much. I'm going to cry.
Oh, you did
Thank
such an
you.
amazing job.
Thank
Hey.
you.